Hello and welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Owula Hansen Lane at Tesano. I'm Frema Edunyame. Coming up, Asantehene announces passing of Asantehima Nana Kunedu Iyadom III.
Asantehima kotokohina brewa yawa dano nanu dudu no die so alapa no ma na bibia ewiemu ha sebe yehude yeye kai sebe duma no die obedie no aso so ko na namo ho to na nanom.
Condolence books opened nationwide to honor victims of August 6 helicopter crash in Adansia Kofo.
We can only trust that the good Lord will keep them in his bosom. We continue to pray for the family. May this lead to some unity in our country, in the family. May their exit bring a blessing to the family.
Also coming up, NPP bows out of Tamale Central by-election to honor the late former Member of Parliament for the constituency, Dr. Murtala Mohammed. New Tatale Sangli Paramount Chief urges peace, unity and respect for authority.
And I've appealed to my chiefs to let there be unity in Tatale. Without unity, no development. And if there's no peace, they will use our monies to pay to the security to keep peace to this place.
In Channel 1 Business, Atwabo gas plant to shut down for 2 weeks for maintenance. And in Channel 1 Sports, Ghana's Abdul Rashid Saminu to face world's fastest man in European debut at Budapest meet. Many thanks for joining us. Now we begin the bulletin on a rather sad note as Asantehene Otumfuo II has formally announced the passing of the Asantehima Nana Kunedu Iyadom III at the Menchia Palace. The announcement was made during a mandatory Asantment Council meeting attended by all paramount chiefs, their sub-chiefs and representatives from the various clans of Asantehene.
In solemn black attire, the traditional leaders listened attentively as the Asantehene delivered the sad news.
So the actual man said, "Na Asantehima kotokohina brewa yawa dano nanu dudu no die so alapa no ma na bibia ewiemu ha sebe yehude yeye kai sebe duma no die obedie no aso so ko na namo ho to na nanom. Since I'm about to go to Quine, so that's what I know. There's so first at mine. That's when I said, oh, be so giant. Now, what the NCNO, also to Honema.
Nana Kunedu Iyadom III, the 14th Asantehima or Queen Mother of the Ashanti Kingdom, was installed on February 6, 2016. In her role, she nominates the Asantehene, advised the royal courts, oversaw women's affairs and successions, and served as custodian of Ashanti culture. Born in 1927 as Nana Ama Kunedu, she dedicated her reign to preserving tradition while championing education, health, and the empowerment of women. The announcement of her passing has led to the suspension of all traditional activities at the Menchia Palace.
Everything has been suspended. That is the meaning of Yabutu Nkonya. Everything has been suspended. But activities within the palace, no deliberation on issues, no activities at the palace. Everything has closed until the 1 week.
A historian at the Menchia Palace reflected on her significant contributions to the peace and stability of the Ashanti Kingdom.
We all know her to be calm, gentle, and serious in her undertakings. She solves problems with ease. She accepts everybody as her own children. So this is what she should be remembered for.
The 1-week observance of her passing will be held on Thursday, August 21, 2025.
The Menche Palace is expected to announce the funeral arrangement for the late Queen Mother after the 1-week observation, which is slated for Thursday, August 21, 2025. Hafiz Tijani, Channel 1 News, Kumasi, Ashanti Region.
May the soul of the Queen rest in perfect peace. Now, moving on, Deputy Minister for Interior Ebenezer Oklete-Labi is urging Ghana's political leaders to close ranks and work together to advance national development. He made the call while signing the Book of Condolence at the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation in honor of the 8 lives lost in Wednesday's military helicopter crash. Now, as part of the mourning period, books of condolence have been opened at various locations for sympathizers to pay tribute. Channel 1 News' Samuel Akom visited some of these centers and filed this report.
On Thursday, 7th August 2025, President John Dramani Mahama directed that books of condolence be opened at key national institutions to honor the 8 victims of the 6th August 2025 military helicopter crash. By Monday, 11th August 2025, relatives, colleagues, and well-wishers had begun visiting the designated centers to write their messages of sympathy. At the NDC headquarters, Chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Nimoy Thompson, signed the Book of Condolence and recalled fond memories of some of the deceased.
And so we talked a lot about the need for long-term planning, and he himself told me that we cannot go on like this, where different political parties come in with different agendas, and that we need to finalize a long-term national development plan and legislate it. In fact, while we were in New York, we met with a couple of his colleagues from Europe. He blew them away with his knowledge, his grasp of the issues, his knowledge of the facts, the laws, and so forth. He was simply an incredible guy, and I'm pretty sure that all the other colleagues were incredible in their own ways also.
Dr. Nimoy Thompson stressed that the most meaningful way to honor the victim's memory will be for the government and the nation to work towards eliminating illegal mining.
They were flying there as part of the efforts to fight Galamsey. And so perhaps the most fitting tribute to their memory was that we actually managed to decapitate the Galamsey monster, so to speak. We can't shed crocodile tears. We must actually work hard to make sure that they didn't die in vain, that we didn't lose them in vain, that their families and their children and their parents and siblings did not lose them in vain.
At the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Deputy Interior Minister Ebenezer Oklete-Labi paid tribute to Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed and the other victims, urging the political class and all Ghanaians to seize this moment of loss as a catalyst for unity and collective action in developing the nation.
We can only trust that the good Lord will keep them in his bosom. We continue to pray for the family. May this lead to some unity in our country, in the family. May their exit bring a blessing to the family.
On the question of retooling Ghana security services, Ebenezer Oklete-Labi said any such decision will follow the outcome of investigations into the crash.
I don't want to veer into anything technical. For now, nobody knows what led to what has happened. There's a committee. We hope that it will come out to something that we can, benefit from.
Individuals trooped in at various destinations to sign the Book of Condolences, and in an engagement with these individuals, there is a simple message that what they stood for must be visibly seen in the governance of the country, as this will be the greatest honor done these persons. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I am Samuel Akko.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has called on Ghanaians to take genuine prophecies seriously, warning against dismissing spiritual warnings and messages from credible men of God. Speaking while commiserating with the family of the late former Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Muniru Limuna Mohammed, who was buried alongside former Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, the Speaker stressed that spiritual insights from trusted religious leaders should not be taken lightly. Channel 1 News' Lee Ayikwe Ukain reports.
The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, on Monday, August 11, 2025, led a delegation of parliamentary leaders to the residence of the late Alhaji Mohammed Muniru, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, to commiserate with his family. The late Muniru was among 8 high-profile individuals who perished in a helicopter crash on Wednesday, August 6.
We are really all heartbroken. This was a shock, not only to us in Ghana, to the world. This don't usually happen. You all or have heard what happened. When the investigations come, we'll get to know what truly happened. But people should not be saying what they are saying. But Ghanaians, I can understand. We are spiritual people. We are very religious people. But I think we just read them like school. We really don't understand what we read. Because it could have been any of us. How would you know flying will bring such a tragedy to a whole nation? And instead of people learning from these lessons, they are out there playing the invincibility. It doesn't help any person.
The Speaker also urged that prophecies from spiritual leaders be taken seriously.
Our people in the spiritual world, the imams, the pastors, the reverends, we should listen to them. It's not all of them who are looking for money. Don't take what they say for granted. If they say act, act. I listen to all. I myself have been threatened many times. And I've listened to the prophecies. I don't take them sleeping. Because that's their area. I can't say somebody who is not in parliament would know parliamentary work more than me. And so I don't know about the spiritual world more than those who are taking it as a career. And so all these things work for good. We should not ignore them.
The delegation later called on the family of the late Defense Minister, Dr. Edward Omane-Boama, to express their condolences following his death in the same crash.
Now, still on this worrying news, Ghanaians are paying heartfelt tribute to the 8 compatriots who lost their lives in the devastating helicopter crash at Adanse Akrofom in the Ashanti region, with many still laying flowers and lighting candles in their memory. Channel 1 News' Jude Duncan was at the ceremonial grounds for the flower laying and filed this report.
Ghanaians from all walks of life continue to solemnly honor the lives and legacies of the 8 compatriots who perished in the tragic helicopter crash at Adanse Akrofom in the Ashanti region. On Wednesday, the government announced a public laying of flowers and lighting of candles at the ceremonial grounds in front of the presidency. According to the government, this act of remembrance was intended to give the public an opportunity to express their condolences and pay their respects. President John Dramani Mahama, accompanied by Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman and other senior government officials, were the first to lay flowers in honor of the 8 victims. Tributes continue to pour in as friends, family, and sympathizers commemorate the memory of the officials who died in the line of duty. Government officials, former appointees, and bereaved family members have been eulogizing the victims' dedication and service. Among those present were the chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Nimoy Thompson, Presidential Advisor on Legal Matters, Marietta Brew Apiopong, and former Power Minister Kwabena Donko. Executive Secretary of the Rights to Information Commission, Ms. Genevieve Shelley Lati, after laying flowers in honor of the victims, also extended her condolences to the bereaved families.
The entire country is grief-stricken by this catastrophic event, and I represent the Executive Secretary of the Right to Information Commission. So I'm here with my team to mourn with the nation in this difficult period. We also came in to empathize and express our grief in this very difficult period. So we pray that God will find a resting place for all of them.
The wife and family of the late squadron leader, Peter Bafemi Anala, also solemnly laid flowers in his memory.
The New Patriotic Party, NPP, has announced that it will not field a candidate in the upcoming Tamale Central Parliamentary by-election following the tragic death of the area's Member of Parliament, Alhaji Dr. Murtala Mohammed, in the August 6 helicopter crash in Adansia Krofrom in the Ashanti region. His passing has created a vacancy in the Tamale Central seat, prompting preparations for a by-election in accordance with Article 1125 of Ghana's Constitution. In a statement signed by the NPP General Secretary, Justin Kodia Frimpong, the party said, quote, "The NPP is of the belief that it would be inhumane and unconscionable to subject the nation to a competitive process in search of a replacement of the departed MP. The tension and acrimony often associated with the conduct of by-elections in the country should be avoided," unquote. The party noted that the most fitting way to honor Dr. Murtala Mohammed and the other crash victims was not only to intensify the fight against illegal mining galamsey, but also to ensure a peaceful and uncontentious process to replace the late MP. Now, away from that, most of the 8 people who lost their lives in the recent helicopter crash were young. The National Youth Authority has joined the nation in mourning their passing. Now, in the studio with us is the CEO of the authority, Osman Ayariga, himself a former president of the National Union of Ghana Students, to reflect on how today's youth can draw inspiration from the legacies of the fallen, especially those who once served as student leaders. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you, and good evening to your cherished viewers and your listeners as well.
Good evening, and condolences to all of us.
It's been a tough week, but I think we're still forging on. By the grace of God, we'll find strength and we'll find some solace in the words of the Bible.
We pray so. We pray so. Now, the NYA has suspended your Youth Month activities, just to honor the memories of the fallen heroes. Apart from this, are there other things you are going to be doing just to ensure that you remember them properly?
Yes, the NYA, if you quite remember, this month is Youth Month, and we earmarked a series of activities which was termed as the Youth Festival. And tomorrow actually marks the International UN Youth Day, which globally all youth across the globe will be celebrating. So tomorrow we'll issue a statement in solidarity to all other countries that are still celebrating the International Youth Day. But we've put our celebration, our activities on hold until the nation and the country is done mourning. Then we'll be able to activate ourselves and activate all body cams and continue with our activities. But we are planning on having a special lecture on our fallen heroes who were actually serving the nation, considering the fact that most of them still fell within the youth bracket, and most of them have served all through their lives from their youthful age to their current age. The pilot, the squadron leader, the other fly and assistant, the other sergeant were all within the youth bracket. So we should be able to do something to, also keep young people within that strength to be able to move.
Now, looking back, and how active they were in terms of student leadership, just as yourself, Do you have any similarities when you look at what he did, and how your own experience was? Would you share any similarities?
Yes. Example, Dr. Omane Boama was one person who inspired so many young people, especially student leaders. And to be very honest with you, the appointment of the likes of Dr. Omane Boama, Okujeto, Ablakwa, Mutala, etc., when Professor Mills emerged as president, actually gave the youth and the student leaders so much hope for you to understand that you are not far from the future. Because these were people we learned from, these were people we looked up to, who were very close to us. So their appointment made us understand that the youth can actually be given the opportunity to serve in this country. And during that time, from 2008 to about 2012 and even beyond, they served as mentors to most of us who were still student leaders. I quite remember late Dr. Omane Boama actually offered to write my acceptance speech or my swearing speech when I won as NUC's president. Yes. Oh, wow. That's how close he was to most of us who emerged as student leaders. Right. And he would call you and try to mentor you. I think you should do it that way. You should do it this way. You should go about your campaign that way, because he himself was a NUC's president. Yeah. So he clearly understood the nooks and crannies and the dynamics of our student politics was concerned. So at the time, if you're contesting the election and you walk to anybody, I need mentorship, some of the MPs would just tell you, oh, go to Omane and Ablakwa. They are the student leaders. You know, so they were able to carve that niche that they were mentoring a generation of younger politicians from the student wing all the way into mainstream politics. So, I mean, it's come as a huge blow to most of we, the young student leaders. And I know NUCS is also planning something to honor them, because Honorable Mutala as well was also the General Secretary of the All African Students Union. Before that, before you can contest to become ASU rep, you have to be elected within the NUCS Congress. Then you are sent as a rep from NUCS to ASU. And when you get to ASU, then you can now contest to become the Secretary General of the All African Students Union. So Honorable Mutala was also a product of the National Union of Ghana Students. So these are people we looked up to even our days as student leaders, and people who nurtured us in our days as student leaders. For example, with Honorable Mutala, when I was done with NUCS politics and I was done with school, at the time he was also Deputy Information Minister. Right. So I was there and he called me, young man, you're done with school, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm doing myself. Come on, we're going to start communicating for the NDC. So, I mean, the first time I even got onto the studios of a television or TV to speak for the NDC, it was Honorable Mutala who actually
interesting.
Yes, he called and said that put Osman on that. So by the time he was Deputy Information Minister, and I quite remember that station was TV Gold. I think they are no more. It's now only Radio Gold. At the time they had TV Gold and Radio Gold. So you realize that these are people who actually nurtured many young people into the party.
When you look around today, do you see a certain crop of youth leaders who are also coming up, students who are also being groomed? You remember you mentioned a name, and when they came in through Professor Mills, it looked like a group. You could look at Dr. Mutala, you could look at Sam George, you could look at Okudzeto Ablakwa. There were a group of people that we saw were being groomed, if I could put it that way. Do you see that a trend happening today?
Yes, I mean, if you look at the current appointment by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you see another crop of very young generation. I mean, talk of myself, talk of the likes of Edoji, talk of Sami Jemfi, talk about so many of us. You realize that these are many, Malik, etc. You realize that these are a group of young people in the same age brackets. So you realize that every generation has, talk about even the Ashanti Regional Minister, he was my junior in NUCS politics. I think I handed over to 2 other people before he became NUCS president. So you realize that every generation has its group of politicians. Now, beyond us two, you realize there's another group that is emerging. Talk about the likes of Raymond Tamaklo, talk about Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua, etc. There's another group of young politicians also coming up. So it looks as though we looked up to our elder generation. They are also looking up to us. So we are also nurturing and keeping them to come up to us. So because what you know is that today I may be CEO for National Youth Authority. I may have to go above National Youth Authority because I cannot remain at National Youth Authority
Somebody
forever
needs
because
to take
in my
over.
age at a point will not even permit me.
Youth.
I will not be youth.
Yeah.
So somebody has to take over. So you realize that there's that succession plan. And I think consciously or unconsciously, this kind of recruiting many young people to join the party started from the time of maybe when the likes of Haruna Idrusu was youth organizer. So Haruna Idrusu, then he got a crop of very young people, the likes of Omane, Okujetu Ablakwa. By the time, remember, there was what they call the CJA.
Yes.
CJA, Committee for Joint Action. Now, beyond the Committee for Joint Action, today also went into government. They now recruited the likes of myself, Hamza Suhini, the likes of Edoji, the likes of Sami Jemfi, all of us in that category. So beyond us, there's another batch of, and it's not consciously done, but you just realize that when people find themselves in a certain age bracket, they are able to put themselves.
Students
together.
are graduating every time,
Yeah,
so by all means
we'll have them.
But are there current trends in today's student activism, that you can credit people like Dr. Omane Boama and Dr. Murtala Muhammad for?
Yes, I mean, you from even their lifestyle alone is something that so many young people learn from, and I'm telling you, I'm a living testimony to that. I mean, every time Dr. Omane Boama will call you and try to nurture you, even as a student. And it was so much for me, especially that as a student at the time, he was a deputy minister for environment, science and technology. That as a student, a minister will call you and want to nurture you. Oh, you didn't say this well. You didn't say, you could have said this better. Even as a student.
Yeah.
So, and that was very big for me. It's not about money alone, but for someone of that caliber and level to call, it means that someone is watching you and someone is actually taking time to observe what you're doing, and that alone was enough. Even the likes of Murtala example, Murtala was someone who didn't mind to give so many young people the opportunity to excel, because he himself, some people feel that, well, if we nurture so many young people, they may come and shine over us and our space will be taken. But Murtala was someone who never feared to share his space with anybody. Once you were shining as a star, he was ready to help you excel. And that's one great thing about these two gentlemen. That's why today we are all saying all the positive things we are saying about them. So, I mean, the likes of Murtala and the likes of Dr. Omane, the student fraternity from NUS to ASU, we know that we've lost very serious jewel and serious.
Meaning that even after leaving school properly, they never left, student politics. They made sure that they were always there to groom the younger ones. That was their case.
Exactly, excellent. And they try to attend most of your programs, they try to attend most of your projects, they try to support in any way that they could support, because student activism is very difficult. And it's in light of that some of us still associate ourselves with student politics, because just as we were nurtured by this older generation, I still don't expect today in their age and level they'll still have time for them. So it's part of my responsibility to help nurture a next generation of very responsible leaders.
So looking at where you are today, as the CEO for the NYA and also deputy youth organizer of the NDC, how would you describe how impactful these two have been in your life?
They have been very phenomenal. Not just my life, I don't want to sound selfish, but personally I've had very positive impact from them. But as a generation, we have had very positive impacts from these two great gentlemen, especially when it comes to youth development, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to student activism, when it comes to perseverance. Example, the likes of Dr. Omane Boama. Do you know Dr. Omane Boama contested twice to become NUC's president? He contested the first one, he didn't make it. Then he contested the second time before he made it. The likes of Murtala on the University of Ghana campus, he was an activist before he even came to the level of contesting for All African Students Rep to All African Students Union Secretariat. And beyond that, he actually contested to become the Secretary General, which he was able to take. So their lifestyle in itself is one that has taught us to be perseverant, the act of perseverance. And that alone is enough for us to understand that the student fraternity and the young people of this country have lost very great mentors, and the NDC especially has lost very huge mentors that would have continued to mentor the next. Because for me, I'm not done learning from them, so I think it was just too early for them to exit.
So if you would be describing these two great persons with a word, what would that be for Dr. Mani Buama?
Excellent.
And Dr. Mohammed Mutala Mohammed?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Thank you very, very much. Osman, for your time. This is indeed a difficult moment for all of us, and we wish you especially very well. You're still watching the Channel 1 Newsroom, still to come. A Tuabo gas plant is shut down for 2 weeks for maintenance. We have the details coming up shortly. Do stay.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother once more. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the great. See, this wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
In Ghana, West Africa, the mornings are somewhat, if not for the perfect companion. What a good day to start. Work is always effective with NASCO Home Appliances. Classic home appliance for the fisher folks. And Nijepa, I want NASCO feel. NASCO, bring home happiness.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. This is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the A4 Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, and Side Hassle from EK Brand Consult.
This is Channel 1 Business with Netale Nete Ajaho.
Channel 1 Business is brought to you by MTN and EcoBank.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we.
We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
It's been a while, Italy.
Yes, we are happy to see you back.
Well, I'm very excited to be back.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're hearing that a Tuabu gas plant will be shutting down. What exactly does that mean?
For 2 weeks for maintenance, I'm sure to boost efficiency and to ensure energy
We shouldn't
supply.
worry?
No, they said we shouldn't worry. It's just for 2
Please
weeks.
tell us more.
Okay. Now, the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has announced a 2-week shutdown of the Tuabu gas processing plant in the western region for scheduled maintenance aimed at boosting efficiency and ensuring long-term operational safety. Daniel Ojo-Mensah has more in this report.
In a statement issued on Monday, August 11, the ministry said the shutdown requested by the Ghana National Gas Company Limited will take place from August 16 to August 30, 2025. During the period, gas supply from the facility will be suspended to allow for comprehensive inspections, repairs, and upgrades to critical systems. According to the ministry, the maintenance works are part of the government's commitment to guaranteeing the safe, reliable, and efficient operation of the plant, which plays a central role in the country's energy supply chain. To avert any disruptions, the ministry has collaborated with key power sector stakeholders to implement contingency measures, including the use of alternative fuel sources to sustain stable electricity generation nationwide.
Now, Ghana's banking sector recorded robust credit growth in 2024, with year-on-year expansion hitting 24.06%. The Bank of Ghana's latest credit activity report attributes this growth to improved financial soundness, including stronger solvency, liquidity, and efficiency. Nashi Kasia has the details.
Gross credit from deposit money banks to both the private sector and public institutions rose by 18.53 billion Ghana cedis in December 2024, a 24.06% increase compared to a rise of 7.01 billion Ghana cedis or 10.01% in December 2023. The surge in lending was driven mainly by higher credit flows to the private sector, supported by an uptick in domestic currency lending and renewed activity in the real sector. However, the sector's non-performing loan NPL ratio climbed to 21.79% by year-end, up from 20.58% in 2023, underscoring persistent challenges in credit risk management. The Bank of Ghana says the credit reporting system will help bring NPLs within regulatory limits by reducing the risk of adverse selection in credit delivery. Banking consultant Dr. Richmond Echiahene is recommending additional measures to address the rise in NPLs.
World Bank team say that every country needs to have a non-performing no more than 10%. So how is he going to bring the 23% or 20-something percent to 10? You can only do that when you pay the existing debt. Now, when you pay the existing debt, you freed the bank, both on liquidity and also insolvency. See, the banks are credit crunched. They have lent so much to these sectors, and the monies are not coming back. If we want to address the non-performing, government should first think of how do I refinance the existing debt, and also give them a structured monthly payment to clear the arrears to reduce the NPLs.
Insurance penetration in Ghana remained low in 2024, holding at 1% based on gross premiums, the same level recorded in 2023. This according to the 2024 Financial Stability Review. However, under the Insurance Service Revenue measure introduced last year, penetration was lower at 0.63%. Here is more.
The report projects that penetration could rise in the coming years, driven by digitalization, product innovation, inclusive insurance schemes, and sustained public education. Insurance density, measuring per capita spending on insurance, improved to 202.40 cedis in 2024 from 195 cedis in 2023. This increase points to larger average policy sizes or higher disposable incomes, reflecting a modest easing of economic pressures on households and businesses. On retention, the life insurance segment maintained a high rate of 96.36%, underscoring the importance of strong reserving, sound asset liability matching, and prudent investment strategies to safeguard policyholder funds and avert solvency risks. The non-life segment retention ratio was 73% in 2024, up from 69% in 2023, signaling stable underwriting performance in that market.
Human resource personnel across Ghana are being encouraged to drive workplace excellence by embracing data, resilience, and employee wellness. The call was made at the annual HR Connect conference held on August 8 at the Mervenbeek Ambassador Hotel in Accra.
Organized by HR Network Africa, this year's gathering was themed Empowering HR Excellence, Leveraging Data, Resilience, and Wellness for a Thriving Workplace. The event brought together industry leaders for networking and skill building. Delivering the keynote address, Vice Chairman of the Public Services Commission, Dr. Irene Ejenim Boateng, urged HR practitioners to uphold the profession's core values and cultivate a strong work ethic in the organizations.
What we are saying is that HR is leading the people agenda. It doesn't mean that it is only HR that must promote well-being. And so we need the intervention of all, including leadership, including the people, within the larger group, in the organization, including other stakeholders. And so we must have regulations within the organization, policies that HR should try to churn out.
She also stressed that prioritizing employee well-being is vital for attracting and retaining top talent.
So many strategies that HR can adopt to be able to come out with, clear policies to drive the well-being agenda. HR therefore becomes an ambassador, a champion of employee experience, and a key employee experience parameter is the well-being of the people, because that creates attraction for the right type of staff or talents. It creates retention because people then want to stay with you, and even when they exit, by natural attrition or anything else, they still connect to the business, and then they become your mouthpiece. And any organization that takes employee well-being seriously becomes an employer of choice.
On the sidelines, convener for HR Network Africa, Cynthia Kodowu, described the conference as a dynamic platform for exchanging ideas and best practices in the sector.
We've been able to bring together a good number of HR practitioners and CEOs to have conversations essentially around driving excellence. For us, we're looking at an HR person that's an embodiment of resilience. We're looking at HR being able to speak at every table given by leveraging on data. And above all, that we want to have a wholesome HR person dealing with workforce. And so today it's been nothing short of digging deep, getting a lot of information, from all these top-notch people across the globe, from UK, US, Norway, just listening to, these people share perspective around what we're trying to do in terms of empowering HR people with the very word called excellence. And I think so far so good. We've been able to deliver the mandate.
Let's now go on the interbank market and check how the local currency is performing. And that's all for the business segment. My name is Natalie Netiajao. Back to you, Frema.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Now to some other stories. The newly enskinned paramount chief of the Tatale Sanguli traditional area and overlord of the Basaris in Ghana has appealed for peace, unity and mutual respect among his people and for traditional authority. Speaking at his maiden meeting with his council of chiefs in the Basari traditional area, the overlord said a lasting development could only be achieved in an atmosphere of peace and harmony.
Tatale Sangule district, located in the northern region, is one of the most deprived in the area and is predominantly inhabited by the Basari ethnic group. Years of inter- and intra-clan dispute, often resulting in loss of lives, have hampered development. Traditionally, the paramount chief of the Basaris is enskined by the overlord of the Dagbon Kingdom, Ndaniyana. However, recent discontent among some Basaris who argue that a Dagbomba overlord should not perform the enskinment spark tensions in the area. Despite these challenges, Napale Bore Dawuni Ata Nkara II was successfully enskinned by the Yana at his first meeting with the chiefs in the area. The new paramount chief called for unity, peace, and respect for one another and the authorities.
And I've appealed to my chiefs to let there be unity intentionally. If there is unity, not development. And if there is no peace, they will use our monies to pay the security to keep peace in this case.
Chiefs present at the meeting expressed their full support, stressing the urgent need for peace and unity.
Our elders have a saying that he who climbs a good tree receives support, a push. So for our leader, the paramount chief, having come and outline his vision, what is seek from us, I want to employ my colleagues and chiefs to give him support.
The development queen mother of Taltali Sangule praised the Yana for ensuring a peaceful enskinment and voiced confidence in the new chief's ability to bring development to the kingdom.
Today, meeting show a sign of unity, because if you look at the number of chiefs who have attended this meeting, the number is uncountable. They are so great. We haven't seen this before. This is the first meeting, and I know if things are going to continue this way, surely there will be unity among us in Tatale. And when there is unity, there will be development, which I'm the queen mother for that. So I'm so happy for that.
You're still live on the Channel 1 Newsroom, still ahead. Ghana's Abdul Rashid Saminu to face world's fastest man in European debut at Budapest meet. We'll be right back. Do stay.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. This is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the Afo Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, and Side Hassle from EK Brand Consult.
Thanks for staying. We have sports with Benjamin Nketia next. Hey, Benjamin.
Hi, Firma. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. I don't even know if we should be smiling or not.
I don't know. These days, you're trying to be happy. I mean, with regards to everything that's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But tell us more in sports.
Let's get into the details now. And Ghana's 100-meter record holder Abdul Rashid Saminu is set to face the world's fastest man of 2025, Kishen Thompson, along with South African sprint star Akeni Simbine at the István Gulay Memorial Meet on Tuesday, August 12th in Budapest, Hungary. Now, the race will mark Saminu's debut on the European circuit following his conclusion of his collegiate season at the NCAA Championships in June. There's more in the report by Gabi Ofer.
The 27-year-old has joined a breakout season in 2025, breaking Ghana's national 100-meter record twice. First, with a 9.86 seconds run at the end of May, before lowering it to 9.84 seconds 7 weeks later. A former University of Ghana student, his 9.84 seconds mark ranks as the 7th fastest time in the world this year. He will now test himself against one of the sport's elite, including Kishen Thompson, who clocked a personal best of 9.75 seconds in June to win the Jamaican National Championships. The start field also features Africa's fastest man in history, Ferdinand Omanyala, veteran American sprinter Ronnie Baker, Nigerians Kanyinsola Ajayi, and Jamaican duo Hakeem Blake and Rohan Watson, all of whom have gone under 10 seconds this season. The men's 100-meter final, the closing event of the evening, is scheduled to start at 17:27 GMT. Here is what Ghana Athletics President Baraf Husseini had to say on the Ghanaians' race on Tuesday in Budapest.
We're excited that Saminu is competing tomorrow in Silesia. We do expect him to repeat a good performance there. That will give him a very good profile leading to the World Championship. And it also will enhance his chances of getting a sponsor or a kid sponsor out there. It will be another high profile for him. Personally, that's a progressive move from student athletes to a professional athlete. Initially, I said it was Silesia. It was rather Hungary that he's competing with the top notch in the world. He competed with Thompson, Sambini, Blanks, you can name them. And this is a test moment for him. And I believe that he will live up to expectation. He will really show the world that he is an athlete who can run faster than the 9.84 seconds.
Now, the Ghana Olympic Committee today laid a wreath in honor of the 8 Ghanaians who tragically lost their lives last week in the helicopter crash during a government anti-Galamsey mission. Now, the moving ceremony formed part of the nation's ongoing tributes to the victims, underscoring their respect and gratitude for their service to Ghana. Here's GOC President Richard Akpokavi.
Ghana Olympic Committee is here, the Commonwealth Games Association of Ghana, representing all the national federations and all the athletes and coaches and officials in sports to lay these wreaths in honor of these gallant men who died in service of country. So we'd like to remember them for the service that they gave to this country. And it is important that we come here because we believe that this is what all sports people are supposed to do, to sacrifice for our country. And we are committed to instill this in our athletes, officials and coaches, so that whatever we do, we remember that we are doing it for God and country. So we pray for them and continue to remember them in our prayers, that God may remember them for the service that they did for God and for this country.
And that's all for Channel 1 Sports. I am Benjamin Nketia. Back to you, Frema.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. And that's how we wrap up. This has been the Channel 1 Newsroom. But before we go, here is a look again at our top stories. Asante Hine announces passing of Asante Hima Nana Akufo-Addo Yiadom III. Condolence books open nationwide to honor victims of August 6 helicopter crash in Adansi Akufo. NPP bows out of Tamale Central by-election to honor the late former Member of Parliament for the constituency, Dr. Murtala Muhammad. New Tatale Sangule Paramount Chief urges peace, unity and respect for authority. Do also visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel 1 TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Channel 1 TV. Download the Channel 1 TV app on Google Play Store and the App Store. I'm Frema Edunyame. Thanks for watching.
Nuanom na adofo se mo ye kradwa ye besi so mesiafo ni inara ya kwasor nuanom na adofo mesi se mo ye kradwa ye besi so mesiafo ni inara ya kwasor. We are taking the girls away. We are taking the girls away. Ladies and gents, are you ready now? We are taking the girls away. To church.
To church. Very important. I'm here with Uncle Akable, one of Ghana's biggest exports for music.
I used Saturday night powder.
That's Saturday night powder.
Saturday night powder. My mother used to buy them and then put it in her bag, waiting for kundum time to spray it on the people who will be dancing. And I'll sneak about 5 of them, go and throw the powder out.
Oh,
what's cooking?
Oh my God.
Man. Okay, what is cooking is what is cooking.
Yeah, nice one. Today we'll take the ladies away.
To church.
You and who?
We are taking the ladies. In fact, you are the first.
What's Cooking is brought to you by Tasty Tom and Lily Rice. In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensah.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensah.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together. Accra High School announces Founders Day 2025. We are delighted to invite